Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Erin's Book Club. I have a very special one today to do a report on, and I don't even know if Goodreads will have it. I do hope so, because I don't want to have to start taking pictures and adding it to Goodreads. So, the book I have to do a review on today is called Uncle Arthur's Bedtime Stories. And as you can see, it's a pretty old, beat up, wear and tear, has been loved through the centuries kind of book. It's one that I'm not going to be able to take myself away and do the review impartially with, because it is so tied into my memories. I remember going to my grandparents' farm, and after playing with the pony that they have there, we would come in and sorry, I got a low battery warning. Anyway, we would come in and get tired and get ready for bed, and Grandma or Grandpa would read us from this book. And the book is basically an entire short story collection of little Christian fables and that kind of thing. I know nowadays, if it was published nowadays, it would probably be banned, because if we're banning the likes of Little House on the Prairie because of its racial themes, we're gonna ban books like this. And this whole banning thing is very upsetting, because the way I look at it, just because something's offensive now doesn't mean that it was, or that it isn't valuable. And I know one of the main complaints of Little House on the Prairie was the way that it was a racial kind of context and that kind of thing. Well, yeah, it was written at a time when slavery was very real, and at a time when we believed that there were lesser human beings out there. There is still a group of people who believe that there are lesser human beings out there, be it the women, be it LGBTQ community, be it different colored community. It's still out there, and banning these books is not going to solve that problem. A better option would be to go through the books with whoever you're having an issue with, or even with your children, and explain why these viewpoints are problematic. But banning it because it's problematic to a certain member of society or members of society won't help anyone. Anyway, sorry, tangent. But I know that this one would be one that would be banned, because not only is it very Christian and very God-focused, and we need to do all these things to be good children of God. There's a problematic story there where everything is blamed on drink, like somebody who works at a jail, and the reason that they're murdering people and all this other things are because of drink. So it kind of takes the ownership of what you're doing away from that. Again, it was something that was important to read, because it was important to see how they viewed the world back then, and how we have changed and maybe haven't changed. Like, another part of this is all of the women in these stories are in skirts, and they are staying at home, and they are cooking. They are not doing anything other than that, other than raising the children, whereas the men are all going off to work. And there is a story on here where a girl gets punished because she's too much of a tomboy and doesn't wear her skirts, and finds out that it's best to wear your skirts. So there's a lot of really negative things about this book, but it's still a really good read. And the general idea of all these stories, even if you take the Christian factor out of it, the religious factor out of it, the general idea, the common decency that it portrays, or that it tries to teach, is still something we need to stick to. The concept that respect is not necessarily earned. It's a human right. Every human that you meet deserves to be respected from the get-go. Doesn't mean they deserve to keep your respect. Humans can destroy your respect at any way, point, or form, but for you to go to somebody and say, I'm not going to respect you until you earn it, or I don't respect anybody until they earn it, you're already starting that relationship feeling as though you are above them, because you feel that they need to earn your respect. Not a good concept. Same deal with the book. So yes, it's got problematic points, but it doesn't mean that some of the messages aren't very important and very real. Like doing what you can to help your fellow man, not because there's somebody there with a video to tape it and to tell you that you're amazing because you did something wonderful for somebody, but because you're doing something good for your fellow man. Because you're a decent human being. The common courtesy that is out there, actually no, it's gone nowadays, is portrayed. It's common. It's everybody's just assumed to have the common decency, the feeling bad about doing something wrong, not because you got caught, but because you hurt somebody or you made something difficult for somebody. That concept's here, and that is a vital concept to have no matter what package it's in. So I really enjoyed the book. I think I'm certainly going to read. I've got two of them. They were both given to me by my grandma when she moved to a different house, because when Grandpa died, the house was really too big for her. So I've got another one, and I'm going to read the other one. But I've also learned that this isn't something that you read cover to cover, because I found that to be a bit of a grind cover to cover. I think this will be one that I read in between my other books, kind of like my textbooks. But all in all, really enjoyed the book, and I really think if you can read it with an open mind and see it not just as a little religious book like a daily bread for children, see it as a good book with a good theme and with good stories in it, I think you would enjoy it too. But it's not going to be a book for everyone. It has to be someone who's willing to be open and to read what that person has to say. So I guess that's all I have to say, and I will let you know when I have another book read. You guys all have a good night.